Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a full day of food. For today's video, I thought I would do just a different style, and so I am just going to voice over this entire video today and just show you clips of what we ate today. So it is the morning. I am starting to make some oatmeal. Usually I make large flake oats, but we have a few quick oats in the pantry too. So I just cooked up a pot of quick oats, and then after cooking, we put blueberries on the oatmeal. The kids like a variety of things on top of their oatmeal. They'll do peanut butter, cinnamon, coconut, fruit, raisins, and so we're doing blueberries today. And here's what I'm putting on my oatmeal. I'm doing the blueberries, and then I'm also putting some Greek yogurt on top, a couple big scoops to give some extra protein to this breakfast, a couple little spoonfuls of brown sugar, and that's my breakfast. Usually after the breakfast cleanup is done and the kitchen's cleaned up, that's when I pour my first coffee of the day before we sit down and start our school day. So I put a little bit of half and half cream into the bottom of my cup and top it up with coffee. This Yeti mug is my favorite because I can take a couple of hours to drink this coffee, and I often do, and it will stay hot the whole time. For morning snack, usually we just grab some fruit. So this is all that's left in our fruit basket right now. I did see this and thought, I was sure there were more apples than this. And one of the kids said, oh yeah, actually it was Simeon. He said, yeah, Wesley and we had apples this morning at like 6:30 when we woke up. So yeah, the fruit is always like free reign, you know, they can just have a snack of fruit whenever they want. And so lately I feel like our fruit has been disappearing so quickly, but it's good. I don't mind the kids just having lots of fruit. Now it's time for lunch. I just pulled out some sourdough pancakes, leftover sourdough pancakes from the fridge. And so I'm going to heat those up as well as fry some eggs. So I'm going to get my griddle ready here, put some butter on there to melt. Sometimes I scramble eggs, sometimes I fry them. The kids are pretty good about eating eggs, actually. A good protein source. I should have warmed up the griddle a little bit more before placing my eggs on. I like to put the eggs on and they just like start cooking, turning white immediately and not spreading quite as much as they are spreading this time. But I'm gonna go ahead and just fill this pan. I filled this pan, I'm trying to remember now how many eggs I cooked up this day. I believe I cooked up 10 eggs. So here are the first few here. I use my spatula to just kind of divide the eggs as they are cooking, and then I flip them. I also got the pancakes started. Often if we do leftover pancakes, I will toast them. It just depends what I feel like, I guess. On this day, I just stuck the whole glass container of pancakes into the oven to warm them up. Partway through here, I took them out of the oven and just maneuvered them around a little bit. Some of the middle ones were still pretty cold, so I moved them around and then stuck them back into the oven to warm up a bit longer. As this lunch is cooking, I'm also going to make myself my electrolyte drink. This is my second one of the day. I used to just put one scoop into a glass of water and have that once through the day, but it's just pretty strong, and so I've started having just a half scoopful twice, and that is a daily routine of mine. I do also drink a lot of water through the day. I don't count, I don't, show all the glasses of water I drink, but I am definitely having 8 to 10 glasses of water a day. So lunch is ready now. We've got our pancakes, the eggs. We're gonna put peanut butter and bananas on our pancakes today. I also have just a little bit of leftover syrup I pulled out of the fridge. We can also have honey if we run out of syrup, and butter. This ended up being just barely enough pancakes for the family. I think a couple of us, well, me for sure, I felt like I probably could have had one more pancake, but that's all right. I also pulled out this everything but the bagel seasoning. The kids really enjoy having that on their eggs. So here is my plate for lunch. I have 3 fried eggs. I've got 1 pancake. I put some peanut butter on there, sliced up a banana, and then I just put some honey on top. For my afternoon snack, again, the theme here is protein. I'm trying to make sure that every meal and every snack is centered around protein. And honestly, if I have a lot of protein at lunch, I often don't even have an afternoon snack right now because on this day, my lunch was like barely enough food. I am having a snack. So I have some cottage cheese here. I'm putting some blueberries on top. I'm kind of checking closely as I put the blueberries in because we've had these blueberries for a while. It's time for them to get eaten up, so I'm just making sure that all the blueberries I'm putting on my cottage cheese here are still good. I'm also going to put some pineapple on top. Pineapple and cottage cheese is one of my all-time favorite snack combinations. Pineapple is nice because it has all the extra juice as well, just really sweetening up the bowl. So that is a delicious snack idea. For the kids' snacks, it's hard for me to kind of keep on top of all that they have for snacks. They don't always have the same thing, but some of the kids did have some yogurt today. And then also, this is a favorite, these peanut butter pretzels we get from Costco. Then I'm gonna get started on making dinner. So I took out 2 heads of cauliflower here. We're gonna have all of them. And I just have to chop them all up. I'm not really careful how I chop them up. I just chop and chop into small pieces because I am going to be blending them together anyways. But I get them all into my pot here. I have this container of chicken stock I made the day before. And so I'm gonna pour some of that in with the cauliflower. I could have used all of it, but I wanna make a chicken noodle soup again tomorrow too, so I didn't wanna use all the chicken stock. I did fill it up part way, and then I actually topped it up with some water and some homemade chicken bouillon as well. As the cauliflower is cooking, I'm going to grate a whole bunch of cheese. As soon as the cauliflower is done cooking, I'm going to use my immersion blender here and just stick it into the soup and blend. It's a little bit tricky using this. It's not hard, but it always wants to suction to the bottom of the pot. So I have to kind of just keep it steady and just keep blending, and it blends everything right up. I did try to leave a few little chunks still, but mostly all blended. Then I added some cream. If I had whipping cream, I would have added that too, but I had just half and half cream. I added all that cheese and a few handfuls of these real bacon bits. I also added some salt and pepper. At this point, I was wishing I had grated some carrot too, because carrots are a real nice addition to a soup like this. Once the cheese melted and it was getting all mixed together, I did take a few scoops of the broth out and mix some cornstarch in because I wanted the soup to thicken a little bit. Looking back on this, I didn't use a recipe, I just kind of eyeballed amounts. I could have probably used less water to cook at the get-go because I kind of had to keep adding more spices, and I did cornstarch a couple times just to try to thicken it up a little bit. I didn't end up showing the finished product of this soup. This is the last clip I have here, but this soup did turn out really tasty. I kind of just kept adding a bit more salt and pepper and some more cheese, more cream. It did turn out really good. I had this just partial loaf of sourdough bread left over from earlier, or I guess it wasn't earlier this day, it must have been from the day before. So I sliced that up and buttered it. It ended up being exactly 1/2 piece per person, 7 pieces of bread here. So that worked out well, and it's nice to have something to dip into your soup. Later that evening, I did get one more cup of coffee from Tim Hortons. I have to show you here my sourdough. I just fed it earlier in the day, and I just wanted to show you how active it is right now. It's at its really fluffy, active stage. I fed it early this afternoon, and it's just been sitting on my counter all day. And then for an evening snack, I am making some popcorn. So I do coconut oil and popcorn kernels. I'm just making a small serving. This is just for my snack tonight. And so it's such a healthy and inexpensive and delicious snack. I do put salt on afterwards, as well as some of this nutritional yeast. I love nutritional yeast on my popcorn. It adds some nutrition and it adds like a cheesy, nutty flavor to your popcorn. It's a really nice topping. And that's where I'm going to end my day, sitting down with my big bowl of popcorn. Okay, that's not that big of a bowl. I often make too much, so this time I made sure to make not as much. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed seeing our day of food today. We'll see you guys next time.